Bray Wyatt breaks character, sends out emotional message. Best and worst of SmackDown. John Cena's WrestleMania 39 opponent leaked. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes and other stars spotted at WrestleMania 39 location. Sami Zayn to undergo major appearance change. Bray Wyatt storyline after another attack on last night. Let's jump right into it. Best and worst of SmackDown. Welcome to the best and worst of the second episode of SmackDown for December. We're closing in on the end of 2022, and WWE is going all out on building up storylines from the blue brand to ensure that the year ends with a bang. A special shout out to Bray Wyatt, last night, and the potential mystery figure that was spotted, many of whom believe it is Bo Dallas. Either way, a lot of other things happened on SmackDown, so let's start with what we consider the upset of the night. Number 3. Best. Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox getting the big win on SmackDown. Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox confronted Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey on the latest episode of SmackDown. It led to a tag team match that Morgan and Nox won due to the interference of Raquel Rodriguez. While Raquel vs. Rousey is likely the direction for early 2023, we were pleasantly surprised at WWE giving the win to the babyfaces, especially with Shayna Baszler being pinned. As you may have realized, Baszler has been one of the stars Triple H has pushed since late July. Number 2. Worst. The ending of SmackDown. While we enjoyed the nostalgic aspect of Kurt Angle bringing back his milk truck to hose down the Alpha Academy, it wasn't the segment that should have ended the show. A large part of the episode revolved around Angle, which was likely to introduce Gable Steveson to SmackDown. However, this was a segment that was perfect for the show's midpoint, not the main event, which means that it was another weak ending from WWE this week and a big mistake, at least in terms of placement. Number 2. Best. Ricochet and the New Day getting a good showing. Ricochet and Gunther had a contract signing this week, with the New Day coming out to give Ricochet some protection. While Adam Pearce scoffed at it, deeming it unnecessary, the New Day hilariously pointed out how every contract signing in WWE has ended. It led to a good 6-man tag team match where the babyfaces defeated Imperium. It was a good showing for Ricochet on SmackDown, and we look forward to seeing the match between him and Gunther next week. Number 1. Worst. Hit Row ruining a perfectly good match. Legado del Fantasma took on the Viking Raiders in a perfectly fine tag team match. It wasn't even Santos Escobar who was competing, which is why we don't get the finish at all or the need to overly protect LDF. The Viking Raiders have more momentum and would have been the right choice to win the match. However, Hit Row came out and ruined it to stand tall. We suppose they deserve one week where they look good, but it was a bad way to ruin a good tag team match on SmackDown. Number 1. Best. Sami Zayn and the Bloodline tease. This week on SmackDown, the Usos retained the undisputed tag team titles in an excellent match against Sheamus and Butch of the Brawling Brutes. Sami Zayn unsurprisingly played a big role in the victory happening, but what was interesting was the backstage segment later on the show. While Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso walked away, Jey Uso told Sami Zayn to get a trim, more about that later in the video. The segment wasn't as tense, but it teased something bigger happening next week, which is the perfect way to get fans hooked to tune in next week. John Cena's WrestleMania 39 opponent leaked. After a long absence from WWE, John Cena is reportedly making his big return on the December 30th edition of SmackDown. The leader of Cenation has been sorely missed by most fans as he only circles back a few times a year for an appearance in the company. We last saw John Cena on the June 27th special edition of Monday Night Raw, dedicated to celebrating his 25 years in the company. Cena delivered a passionate speech to the crowd, thanking them for their love and making it clear that he would return for one more run. Now it seems it's coming true with Zero News reporting that WWE is already planning up several potential opponents for him such as Logan Paul, last night, and Austin Theory for a match at WrestleMania 39. It's been further reported that the most likely scenario to go down for a match could be John Cena taking on Logan Paul with the last night feud coming in second. The possibility of a match between Cena and Paul was recently teased, with the latter requesting Triple H give him the present of a WrestleMania match on his birthday, April 1st. A playful tease also came from the former 16-time world champion, who responded by posting a Photoshop meme of the young star's face on Stone Cold Steve Austin on social media. The text on the top of the photo reads Stone Cold Someday, which hinted at a possible showdown between them down the line. Many seeds have been carefully planted for a potential big feud between John Cena and Austin Theory. The rising star recently captured the WWE United States Championship once again in a triple threat match against Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley at Survivor Series, War Games. Austin Theory is now more adamant than ever that he will have an even better run than Cena. A match between the two stars appears increasingly likely. However, Vince Russo isn't quite convinced that the match should take place at the grandest stage of them all next year. Speaking over on Sportskeeda as the Wrestling Outlaws, the former WCW writer stated that the match wouldn't do justice to John Cena's star power. I hope not, bro. Cena would go from box office attraction to B-movie star, bro. Oh, please, bro, please. It's been a thing for Theory. Who do you want to see Cena face off against in a match at WrestleMania 39? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes and other stars spotted at WrestleMania 39 location. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes are reportedly among the list of WWE stars who have been in Los Angeles this week filming a commercial for the next 2K video game. WWE 2K22 is the latest installment of the video game series based on the sports entertainment company. It was released earlier this year with a lot of success. 2K23 is expected to come out in the next few months, although not much detail about the upcoming game has been disclosed. According to PW Insider, multiple superstars, including Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Cody Rhodes, Dominic, and Rey Mysterio, have been in and out of Los Angeles over the last several days. The city will host next year's WrestleMania. The report mentions that they are participating in film shoots for the next video game in the 2K series. The company's chief content officer, Triple H, recently shared a photo of himself with Bad Bunny in Los Angeles on social media. It is not yet known whether the musician will appear in the upcoming video game. WWE 2K23 is one of the most anticipated wrestling video games right now. Following the success of this year's game, many have high expectations for what the next one might bring. Fans finally got GM mode in the franchise's latest installment, and it'll be interesting to see what might return in WWE 2K23. It's rumored that a few significant changes are planned for the game. Cody Rhodes will most likely be featured in the next video game as he returned to the company at WrestleMania 38. It'll be interesting to play as him and other characters, such as the Judgment Day and Damage Control. What do you expect to see the most in 2K23? Sound off in the comments below. Sami Zayn to undergo major appearance change. Roman Reigns will return to SmackDown for the first time since Survivor Series War Games next week. Although he isn't currently involved in any active storyline, the Bloodline remains a fixture of weekly TV. Ahead of the Tribal Chief's return, Sami Zayn was told to get a major appearance change. This week on SmackDown, it was another successful night in the office for the Bloodline. The Usos retained the undisputed tag team titles in a fantastic match against Sheamus and Butch of the Brawling Brutes. Later on, the four Bloodline members were seen backstage, with Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa heading out. Jey Uso, who was with Sami Zayn, told him to get a trim and haircut ahead of Roman Reigns' return to SmackDown next week. Not only this, but he mentioned that next week would be a big night for Sami Zayn. What will happen to Sami Zayn when Roman Reigns returns next week? The ending of Survivor Series War Games clearly indicated Sami Zayn being fully accepted into the Bloodline, especially given the important role he played during the match. Zayn has been sporting long hair for a while now, so it will be interesting to see what he does for his appearance change. Are you excited about Zayn's new look? Sound off in the comments below. Bray Wyatt storyline after another attack on LA Knight. LA Knight had enough of Bray Wyatt this week and revealed two key pictures before the back-to-back attacks that happened to him. He even went backstage to investigate, and while he was prepared, he fell victim to another big attack from the mystery masked figure. Some fans were naturally inclined to believe that Bray Wyatt was behind the attacks. While that might be true indirectly, the masked figure had his eyes shown, and it was blue, presumably somebody wearing contact lenses. However, much speculation from fans on Twitter has emerged that it is Bray Wyatt's 32-year-old brother Bo Dallas who is the man behind the mask. It has been rumored for a while now that there are plans for Bo Dallas to return to WWE. The former NXT champion never reached the same level as his brother, but for years, there were calls from fans to have the two involved in a storyline. That might soon become a reality. Uncle Howdy was spotted with a tear coming from his eye when LA Knight was out. It looks like multiple layers of the story still have yet to be uncovered. Bray Wyatt breaks character, sends out emotional message. Bray Wyatt portrays one of the deepest and most intriguing characters on the entire WWE roster, and the fans hold it all in high regard. However, in some situations, the character can't be preserved, and the person behind the entertainment has to come forward to speak, with Wyatt recently doing the same and coming out to address a real-life family situation. The Eater of Worlds has a rich wrestling family background, being part of the prestigious Rotunda family, which includes his brother Bo Dallas, father IRS, and uncles Kendall and Barry Windham. Earlier this week, his uncle Barry Windham suffered a heart attack and was rushed to the hospital and placed in the ICU. His condition is reported to be stable now, but he still has a long road to recovery. Bray Wyatt took to social media to send out an emotional message as he broke character to share something very important with his fans. The video saw him share his feelings of admiration for his uncle and how grateful he was to the civilian who saved him. "I wanted to thank one specific man, Michael Todd Lalek, a random citizen who was there and gave him CPR for the entire time. He's the reason we have Barry still, why he is alive and still with us," Bray Wyatt said. Wyatt also went on to state that a fundraiser has been set up for the continued recovery of his uncle, and he would be very grateful for anyone to share anything. Barry Windham has given his life to his profession. His whole life has been about this, just like mine. And I just wanted to share that I'm incredibly thankful to have him back, and my sister set up a GoFundMe in his name. And no one is obligated to share anything, but if you could, that would be incredibly helpful. LA Knight had enough of Bray Wyatt messing with him and decided to call him out on this week's edition of WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Knight revealed 2 pictures linking Wyatt to the attack and went backstage to investigate further, but ended up getting ambushed yet again by a mysterious masked figure. While the WWE Universe is mostly certain that Bray Wyatt is the one behind all of these attacks on Knight, the masked figure was shown to have blue eyes. Perhaps it could be the former WWE Champion in complete disguise, but it could also be a silent partner working with him. We'll have to wait and see if Bray Wyatt is the one targeting Knight directly or if this could be the work of some other sinister force. Who do you think is behind the mask and the attacks? Sound off in the comments below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me